With the shell now being restored at the body shop, the race is on to get all of the car parts ready so that they can go back on once the car's been painted. The pedal box bolts are corroded beyond repair, and as they are welded onto the unit, I assumed that the unit would have to be scrapped and went to buy a new one, only to find out that these are no longer available. That left me with no choice but to attempt to repair this one. So the plan was to remove the welded bolts and replace them with new bolts, and I was going to use this bracket to make sure that I could line everything up later on. First job was to remove the rust and the dirt so that I could see where the bolt was welded onto. To make things easier, I ended up bringing my vise outside. Using a combination of wire brushes, the power file and a saw blade, I was able to remove the weld and the bolt just fell off, although typically it did so the minute I turned the camera off, but I was able to film the other bolts being removed. Then it was just a case of removing the excess welds and taking the whole thing back to bare metal to check for any damage. It looked okay, so it was time to replace the bolts and weld them to the pedal box. I kept the bolts in place with a nut and a washer that I would remove once I've welded. My welding skills aren't great, as you may remember from previous videos, so I was a bit apprehensive at this point. With all 4 bolts welded on, I checked it against the bracket and surprisingly looked alright. Now the plan was to get this all powder coated, along with a few other bits that I have to take to the powder coaters. So to protect it for now, I just coated the pedal box in hammerite to prevent any rusting, but later realising that it wouldn't be seen, I just decided to leave it as it was, clean up the pedals and call it job done. So now I can put this to one side and that's one less job to worry about.